Hey, surprise everyone. I know it's been a while since you guys seen me. Your girl Miss Cherie with the Vocal Truth Podcast. I didn't disappear, I promise. For those who really kind of kept up, I was for a minute for the months of November and the beginning of December. I was working with the Politic and broadcast, so I was a consistent contributor for the last couple of months with them. They are on hiatus at this time, but going forward for the following year. So, top of the year surprise is that I will continue to work with that grouping, and hopefully, that will be a fruitful relationship with growing my podcast, The Vocal Truth, as well as assisting with the growth of that broadcast network. Um, 2020 has definitely been a wild ride. So I wanted to get on here and chat it up with everybody. And well, if possible, whenever y'all know how I do. Whenever you come in, just make sure you like or subscribe, share everything. But yeah, I just want to chat it up about this year, what it's done for you, and affirmations going forward and some reflections. So we're just gonna go ahead and kick it off where hey, Shonda, and where we're gonna go ahead and start chatting about it. So for me, what 2020 has brought to me is number one, the start of this great podcast. Most people know I'm a very vocal person, very opinionated, whether it be on Facebook in person or just anywhere. So me actually creating this podcast and just doing it, getting it started was tremendous for me because I started out with the Bobby Morelli show, which was great, but branching out on my own and controlling my own programming and what I want to talk about is a tremendous thing for me, especially since I do like to discuss politics largely, especially when it relates to the Black community. It seemed that I largely got quiet around the election, which I really didn't. Once again, I was on the Politic and broadcast. And if you search the Vocal Truth page, which you guys probably should be on it to see this, a couple of the links were there where I was featured with mostly guys, because clearly politics is not, it's not a lot of women who discuss it or are willing to discuss it, but I am. So that's another thing. So this to be honest, this podcast was my baby. It was the highlight of my year. It was something that I felt passionately about, and then this year really lit a fire under me to really get it started. Um, while this year also had its share of ups and downs for me, like at one point I was laid off from my previous job, but I was still able to be blessed with the extra 600 for the unemployment, and then I was able to get hired at another job. Need main jobs, but throughout that struggle, the hustler in me, I've been examining many different avenues for different streams of income or other opportunities to make additional funds and things like that. What else has it really brought out of me? It's really made me examine my creative side. I've done, in addition to just participating in more painting sips and things like that, and painting. I enrolled in nail school, so I'm pursuing a career with creating my own independent nail studio and or eventually creating my own salon someday, hopefully, prayerfully. Um, that's something that I'm working on, as well as going back into doing sister locks and things like that. So I'm finding that these are things that I like. So I feel like this year I've really kind of fallen into some of the things that are of interest to me, and really figuring out that I really don't enjoy working for other people. I don't know many people who do, but it's a different thing to say that you don't want to work for anyone, but then you don't really have an idea of what your own business will look like or what that is. A lot of people say get your own business, but starting a business and just starting any old business is not a good idea. You need a plan, you need a niche, you need to have something that you're passionate about other than just creating a business. There's many types of business. So you got to go along. So it's not something that's that easy to develop. It's just that I found that this year I definitely came more into my own and am more accepting of the things that I feel like I'm willing to try and really put the work into. So definitely drop your comments and let me know what's some things that 2020 brought for you, whether it's life, love related, work related, career related, whatever. Like if you want to share it. Even if it's after the video has been live, share it later. I'll chat with you via the comments. It's whatever. So it all works based on that. Another thing, so outside of what 2020 brought for me, we all know and have been under quarantine because of the coronavirus, but this year's also brought a rushed vaccine for the coronavirus that of course everyone's rightfully suspicious of, because that vaccine is not, it's not fully tested. They rolled it out for use and it's not fully tested. But yay, 2020 is the year of rushed everything, just in the interest of trying to open everything back up. So I think this year has been a great year because of the coronavirus, allowing people to a lot of time to really self-reflect and just examine themselves and what it is that they want, and to hopefully have the drive to go after it. Because what else did you have to do while you were quarantined? Really? Like if you were just sitting there just not doing anything other than binge watching the latest movie or show, then I really don't know. But to each their own. Next thing is my own reflections on life, love, and friendship for this year. Every year gives me different perspectives. A lot of things are revealed just of my own life reflections, my own love life, or my own friendships and things like that. For me, I was definitely, this year I felt like I had the more solid friendship circle. Like for me, I have always had the mentality that I don't need to be up under my friends. So throughout my life, I've had different types of female friends. I've always had female friends. So I've never been the type to say I don't like female friends or I don't like females like that. Female friendships, especially as a female, of course, are important, but the right type of female friends, because to be honest, every female friendship is like any other friendship, to be honest, is you have to find the right one, the right match, just like you would in the love matchup. You need the right type of friend. You need the right type of person in your aura. The wrong type of energy, the wrong type of person could set off everything and can really mess up your energy for anything else that you're trying to do. So when it comes down to that, when it comes to friendships, a lot of people talk about, cutting people off or things like that. Like for me, I've never really had to cut people off. It's like I just peep things and I treat people accordingly. And that's the way I do it, because I don't go through the whole method of, oh, I'm going to unfriend this person, I'm going to block this person. Like you really got to do some egregious, trifling, nasty stuff to me, because I feel like Facebook is Facebook. It's a social network. So the idea is to be social. If I don't, it's a lot of people on Facebook that are associates of mine, that are not close friends, that are not people that I would hang out with on a regular basis. Or for that matter, there's a lot of people on here that don't have my phone number. Is that a deal breaker? Some people only want people that are close friends, and that's their choice. But for me, Facebook is a limited thing. It's not something that I really feel the need to, oh, I'm going to decrease my circle, because it's not Facebook that brings drama. It's people that bring drama. So if you have drama in your Facebook network, you need to look at the people that's causing it. Is it you? Is it the people? Are you feeding into it? It's that type of thing. So yeah, that's my little spiel on friendships. It's like you just have to put in it the same amount of time and effort that you would when you're dating somebody. You talk to them. As the friendships last for years, that means you have to find different ways of connecting with your friend, because you're not the same person. Like, people brag about 20 plus year friendships. How do you make it to 20 years as a friend? Why? Because you guys have rolled with the punches and you have really grown with one another. You've not outgrown people. But on the flip side, it's nothing wrong with you outgrowing someone. That means maybe their growth has stagnated and maybe you can't meet them at that same level and you guys are no longer that level of friends. Does that mean that that person is no longer your friend? Probably not, but their level of friendship is probably like, okay, that's still my friend. I'm still there for that person, but this person can't come along on this part of the journey with me. Like, everybody is not meant to just be held close, tight. But at the same time, you also have to examine, what do you mean by a friendship? What is the friendship built on? Like, that's another thing I find, that a lot of people's friendship are based on different things. Like, sometimes people's friendships are based on how much somebody helps them. Like, some people feel better if they're helping somebody. Somebody feels better if someone's always helping them. But it should never be one-sided. You shouldn't be giving everything. Like, you shouldn't be the person giving everything, and you should never be the person that's always receiving something. So there's that. Also, the whole talking behind hanging back stuff. Like, if you're grown, especially if you're in your late 20s, or especially if you're in your 30s, if you're over 30 and you still got people talking about you, or you're the one still talking about people behind their back, and you're not grown enough to bring it to that person, then it's a problem within you, period. Period, point blank. Like, if you, like, for example, like, if you have this view of, oh, this person isn't this, or you have a problem with someone, it's like you take it to a whole different friend that doesn't even know that person. So then y'all start talking about it, and then if you're that person who's receiving the information, and now all of a sudden you don't like that person based on what that person said, that's all crazy and immature to me. It's crazy. But it's one of those situations where it's just like, some people are very childish in their mentality, and they'll make up stuff like, if you're not around or if you're not up under them, then all of a sudden you're not that great of a friend. It's like, I have a life. I have things that I'm building. So I don't have to help you build. You have to come with your own building blocks. I'm sorry. I'm at the age where I'm building my own stuff. I have my own family to build for. I don't have time to be up under somebody else. I don't have some time to help build somebody else's dream. I don't have time for none of that. I got time for what I'm trying to do. So there's different ways to support. I don't have to do it for them. So that's that section of it. But also, if you're the type that absolutely has to have your friends disown people because you and those people have fallen out, I'm sorry, I'm one of the few people who, I don't feel like that. Like, number one, whatever somebody else's friendship is with somebody, that's not my friendship with them. Or if I'm even friends with that person, for that matter. Somebody could just be an associate with me. Like, they could barely have my number, or we only communicate for business or whatever. But all of a sudden I'm supposed to just like, oh, never talk to them because, this friend fell out and that one fell out. And now I may be looked at sideways because I talked to that person. First of all, that's where it comes in, where if you have your own friendship with different people, that should never be. Like, it really shouldn't. Like, people should not be like, I don't understand grown people who do that, because what makes you really think that you're the topic of conversation? Like, that's really presumptuous. Like, oh, well, I fell out with this person and they hanging out, so that must mean we talking about, like, so you don't think the other person that's your friend is capable of saying, you know what, we ain't gonna do that. So that's just saying, that's an assumption that everybody is just gonna consistently just keep. It's a lot of mess. So that's one thing I'm definitely like leaving. Like, if anybody brings that crap to me, stop yourself, delete my number, don't talk to me. Like I don't like that. Like, I don't like all that mess. I've dealt with a lot of mess over the years, and I've spent a lot of time trying to rid my life of it. So at this age and almost 40, I definitely don't want the mess now. So that's that. As far as love, it's the same thing I was saying about friendship. You got to find the right person, make sure that energy matches up. If some people have had great luck in this year and other people have not. And this year for me, as far as love, I'll say it's still hanging. It was definitely unexpected. But that's all I'm really gonna say on that. I'm a little cagey about saying too much about my love, like, only because I'm the type of person that feels like, and maybe it's where my experiences have shaped my life when it comes to that, I don't like sharing it. I don't, because I feel like as soon as I start saying it, as soon as I give a dude a compliment, they go left, and it nope. So for me, I'm just gonna shut that conversation down. But life in itself, overall, for this year, in light of everything that has happened this year, it's been great. I can't complain. Once again, I feel like I started my podcast, which was the biggest thing I've always wanted to start. So in spite of me not applying for the Google Fellowship for Podcasts again, and not getting it again, I still started my podcast. I'm still developing quality programming, and I'm making great connections. I'm working on other projects that are making me happy, that give me a lot of hope for the upcoming year. And I really and sincerely wish happiness and well-being on everybody, and I hope that really works for everyone. So when talking about all of that, I just want to go to the next subject of affirmations for 2021. Anybody have any affirmations? I don't say New Year's resolutions. I don't know. I don't like New Year's resolutions. Um, I don't know. It just doesn't sit well with me. It doesn't. So for me, my affirmations are to continue working on things or endeavors that I want to really hone in and practice on everything that I would like to bring into fruition. So I'm not going to go into details about everything. I already mentioned some things. Of course, the main thing I'm already on my podcast, but I just really want more affluence, more, of course, financial stability. I just want the best for myself and my family, my children. Um, I just want the best for everybody that's close to me, my extended family, my friends. I have to say, I felt so much love from a good amount of my friends this year that was unexpected, that reassured me. And I mention friends a lot because it's this year has really, really, really taught me a lot about friendship and how people are showing me love in return. Um, because normally it's me that has always shown others love, and it's like this year I really felt like I got a lot of love in return, and it was always unexpected. Like one of my friends, Alicia, I'm gonna shout Alicia out because one thing that really stuck with me was her surprising me for my birthday. It wasn't, with a gift. Most people don't surprise me with anything besides my mom, or with anything for my birthday besides my mom and my dad. So getting something like that from a friend was a key thing, because normally I'm always doing something for someone. So very rarely does somebody ever do anything for me. So that was big for me. And it was just, a little gesture, but it meant a lot for me. So, friendship is key. Shonda is saying that mindless communication is key to keep everything on the right path. I'm speaking life into starting a fresh relationship with someone I never thought I would. That's great. That's great. And once again, starting a fresh relationship with somebody that's unexpected is always a pleasant surprise. That means that's somebody that's always been there that you really never looked at, but to see something like that develop can be very, very beautiful. And communication is definitely a great thing to keep things on path. Clear communication not only speaks to your ability to say what you need to, but it also speaks to your ability to receive what is being told to you as well. And too often that's missing because people think it's one or the other instead of, both ends of that coin. So that's excellent. So I definitely wish the best for you, Shonda, in 2021. That's pretty much all I want to say. I want to touch base with everybody and say Happy New Year. And if no one else tells you, I love you and I hope you have the best 2020 ever. And 2021, we definitely want to be out of 2020. So I wish everybody the best 2021. I sincerely wish everybody the best going into the new year and going forward. I hope you achieve all your dreams and be able to work on everything that you want to. You guys have a great night and enjoy, but social distance. Good night. Love you.